The median person between ages 55 and 64, the last full decade before most people retire, has $95,642 saved in their 401k. That number just made you feel a little uneasy, or if it made you feel like you're way ahead of everyone else, I want to show you why neither reaction is actually the right one, and why this number by itself can't tell you whether you're on track. I'm going to walk you through the actual data from Vanguard's How America Saves report. Before we get to the numbers themselves, here's the one thing I need you to understand to make sense of all of them. The average and the median measure two very different things. And for retirement accounts, they can be wildly far apart. The average is the total of everyone's balances divided by the total number of people. The median is the number where exactly half of the people are above it and half are below it. And here's why that part matters. A relatively small number of people with very large balances pull the average way up, even though they represent a tiny slice of the actual population. So when you see an average balance and think, okay, that's roughly what a normal person my age has saved, that's usually not what it represents at all. The median is almost always going to be a much more honest picture of what a typical person actually has. And as you'll see, for every single age group, that gap is enormous. So let's start with the first group, ages 35 to 44. The average balance for this group is $103,552. The median is $39,958. So the average is more than 2.5 times the median. If you're in this age range and you've got 40,000 saved, you are statistically right in the middle of the pack for your age. You are not behind some imaginary curve just because the headline says the average is over $100,000. This is also typically the age range where income tends to climb the fastest, and where, if it hasn't already happened, people start saving more seriously. One financial planning insight worth considering here is it's actually normal and expected for the heaviest saving to happen in later, higher earning years. So this group has the most time resource and often the most room to accelerate their financial savings resource of any group we're going to look at. So now the next group, ages 45 to 54. Here's where the average jumps to $188,643 and the median is $67,796. Notice that gap again. The average nearly tripled from the previous decade, but the median didn't come close to tripling. That's not because the typical person suddenly saved 3 times as much. It's because this is the age range where the people who started early or have had higher incomes or risky investments really start to separate themselves from everyone else. And those larger balances pull the average up disproportionately. If you're in your late 40s or early 50s with somewhere in the 60,000 to 70,000 range, again, that is the median. That's typical. It's also, frankly, the range where a lot of people start to feel behind because they're comparing themselves to that 188,000 average instead of the median. Now, ages 55 to 64, and this is the group where the numbers tend to get the most attention because it's the last full decade before traditional retirement age. The average here is $271,320, and the median, as I mentioned at the start of this video, is $95,642. So the median for this entire decade, the one right before most people retire, is right under $100,000. For additional context, Federal Reserve survey data shows the median net worth for households aged 65 to 74 is roughly $400,000, which does include our home equity, other accounts, and everything else behind a single 401k, which is what the Vanguard study references. So to be clear, it is isolated in nature, and if that $95,000 number made you a little uneasy when I said that at the start, you are not alone. That's usually the reaction. But here's the thing to hold on to until we get to the case study coming up. A 401k balance is not the same thing as your retirement number. It is one piece of it. So whether that's a pension or Social Security future income stream, that's real wealth that never shows up in a 401k or an account balance. And whether 95,000 or 300,000 or 600,000 at this age means you're on track or behind depends entirely on what you actually need of that money, combined with all the other resources that you have to produce. And speaking of that final stretch, starting in 2025, workers aged 60 to 63 got access to an enhanced catch-up contribution. Currently, that's $11,250 on top of the standard limit, which could meaningfully change those balances for people in that narrow age band for us trying to catch up. And finally, ages 65 and older. The average here is $299,442. The median is $95,425. Now, notice something interesting. The median for 65 and older is essentially flat compared to 55 to 64 age group. $95,425 versus $95,642. It barely moved. Part of that is because this group includes people who are already retired and withdrawing from their accounts. So some of what would have been additional savings is instead being spent. And part of it is that the group where the gap between people who planned well and people who didn't has had the longest time to compound. The people above the median in this group are often well above it. So now let's get to the part that actually matters, because here's what none of those numbers tell you. Let's say it's two different people, both 50 years old, and both have exactly $200,000 in their 401k. Right around $188,643 average for the same age group. On paper, they look identical. Same age, same balance, same plan to retire at 65. The first person doesn't have a pension, and they're planning to rely mostly on their account plus Social Security. They want to spend about $80,000 a year in retirement. The second person has a pension. That's going to pay them $30,000 a year, guaranteed starting at 65. They also want to spend about $80,000 a year, but they only need this account plus Social Security to cover the remaining $50,000. Now, let's run both of their $200,000 forward 15 years to age 65. Assuming they keep contributing $15,000 a year and get about 7% as an assumed average rate of return, that $200,000 balance grows to roughly $930,000 by 65 between growth on the existing balance and growth on the new contributions. Using a standard rule of thumb withdrawal rate of 4%, $930,000 could produce $37,000 a year. Quick note, this 4% withdrawal rule does originate from William Bengen's 1994 research on safe withdrawal rates over a 30-year span, and it assumes a balanced investment portfolio. It is a useful starting point, but it was never meant to be a one-size-fits-all number. So for the first person with no pension, that $37,000 plus Social Security, say around $30,000, gets them to about $67,000 a year, but they need $80,000. They're short by about $13,000 a year. For the second person, that same $37,000 from the portfolio plus their $30,000 pension plus Social Security more than covers the $50,000 that they actually need from those sources. Same age, same balance today, same contribution rate, same growth assumptions. One of them is behind and one of them is ahead. And a national average or median would never show you that distinction and the nuance between the differences between these two individuals. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but my situation isn't reflected in just one account. I've got an old 401k from a previous job, maybe an IRA, maybe a Roth, and you're right, that's exactly the point. This data comes from Vanguard's own plan participants, people who already have access to a workplace 401k through their employer. A meaningful portion of American workers don't have access to a plan like this at all. So even these median figures likely paint a more complete picture than the country as a whole. In fact, fewer than 5% of Americans accumulate over $1 million in dedicated retirement accounts by their mid-50s, according to Federal Reserve data. So even getting to these median figures puts someone well within the mainstream of American savers who do have access to a plan. And this is one account. It does not include old 401ks from previous employers that haven't been rolled in, IRAs, Roth accounts, brokerage accounts, or home equity. If you've changed jobs a few times and have 3 old 401ks sitting at different providers, none of that shows up in any single one of these numbers. None of this conversation yet accounts for debt or assumed needs from the portfolio and spending, whether you'll have a mortgage in retirement or what your actual spending looks like. So these numbers are a useful starting point, especially the median, for understanding where a typical person your age may stand. But They were never going to tell you the full picture of whether you're on track. Only your own numbers and needs can do that. If you've been comparing yourself to one of these numbers, average or median, and trying to guess whether that means you're ahead or behind, that's exactly the kind of question worth getting real answers to. This is not for everyone. If you're early in your career and still in the accumulation phase with decades to go, know that your biggest asset is not what's in a bank account now. It is what is in your brain ready to be converted into financial funds as long as you spend the time and energy to convert them. These benchmarks are a fine general reference for now. But if you're within 10 to 15 years of retirement and you've never actually added up everything you have across every account against what you'll actually need to spend, a first conversation is just that, a conversation. We look at your situation, learn about what's most important to you, and start to identify the biggest areas of opportunity that we see. If that sounds of interest to you, link in the description below. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.